Hey everybody, this is Hyde from the Fifth Draft. Just a heads up, there are some audio issues in this week's episode, as well as some spoilers for The Last of Us 2. When Last of Us 2 spoilers pop up, I will put up a thing on the screen saying when the spoilers are active, and I will let everyone know on the screen when spoilers are done. Anyway, enjoy this week's episode. Thanks.
Well, welcome to the Fifth Draft again. And I'm Colton,
And I'm Hyde.
and we're back at it. And I think that the thing that is the most interesting is at least we started the last time. Life got in the way, as everybody knows. I'm surprised that some podcasts are even able to continue, let alone ones like this where we're just doing it for fun.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure people who it's their job to do podcasts, like, it's their job, they're gonna keep doing it. Unlike
Yeah.
us.
Well, yeah, and especially with we have lives. Not saying that those people don't, but that depend on other things, and other things have to happen. So
Yeah,
we're more focused.
a lot of my life kind of got in the way of doing this. So,
Well, I mean, yeah, but I mean, even with my job and all of the stat, they're talking about cuts and everything. So who knows what's gonna happen?
Shit got in the way. So we are relaunching the Fifth Draft.
Yeah, or just the next episode.
Yeah,
we were good at the weekly thing, but we're now here.
it is a bit of a time skip.
Yeah. So within that time frame, is there anything that notable that you've been up to that stands out other than?
Well, for one, I've talked around my job that I hinted at being fast food. I no longer work there. I have moved and I'm going back to school here real soon.
Nice.
So
that is a major thing, and it's also one of the reasons that we're able to do the podcast again.
Yeah, so I no longer have to do the fast food job in the middle of Corona and have to deal with a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, or just in general dealing with bullshit from a job like that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say what specific store, but yeah, it's a popular one.
So before we started, and then we kind of stopped the discussion so we could have it on here, how it's going to change your life because of COVID still happening, where it seems ridiculous now because looking back on those episodes where things were just coming out and we were like, oh, it's good, it's going to go away. And here we are like 3 months later and it's not gone away.
I definitely remember saying, do you think we're overreacting? And so we actually recorded an episode after last one that just I never got around to editing it because some shit happened. I got quarantined for 2 weeks by my doctor. I was never tested for it, so I have no goddamn idea if I had it. But yeah, it was a just in case. Scared the fuck out of me, and yeah.
Yeah. So now you get to be in the land of people who have to stay in their apartment, in my case, or house, which will be your case, and be around the people that are there and only go out for necessities, which is, I don't want to say it's a bitch, but it's a bitch.
I mean, I assume it is, but like, because my entire life, like, back when this started was just, go fuck yourself. And this, like, nothing changed for me, really, once it happened.
All right, we're gonna time out here. All right, continue. Sorry.
Well, time back in. So, yeah, my life was essentially just working at the restaurant, and that was about it. So, now that I don't have a job that's pulling me out of the house, we'll see what my life is like, and we'll see if I don't get cabin fever like in The Shining.
Yeah. Well, so I live in an apartment complex that's like above a Starbucks, so I'm able to go down there every day and like get a Starbucks because I'm so ridiculous that I drink coffee every day, but yet don't know how to make it. Like even today we had, yeah. Well, I like an Americano, so I don't really know how to.
Just get a like little espresso maker thing that makes shot of espresso, put it in a cup, and put some hot water in it. That's all an Americano is.
Really?
Yeah, it's just espresso and water.
Oh shit. I thought it was espresso and coffee. I really don't know.
I know this because of my job that I used to have.
That's funny. That's awesome. Well, hey, at least I know what it is. And
Yep.
I don't put any cream or anything in it, so it's bland.
Well,
But like today, I got in the elevator to go down because I'm on the 6th floor, and 4 other people got in the elevator. And I live in a city. I live in Dallas. I really don't care if people know. It's such a fucking huge city. And honestly, if you decide to not only listen to this podcast, but then choose to come to where I am, you're insane because COVID is so bad right now here. We're up over 1,000 cases a day now. That's where they're assuming.
wait, a
tomorrow's
day? Fuck.
Yeah. Today, they've already projected tomorrow's going to be over 1,000.
Wait, how many
And
people live in Dallas?
Dallas is here. I can look it up, but Dallas population 1.3 million just in Dallas, but it's Dallas Fort Worth, which is the big like both all of them
DFW.
together. Yeah, so there's over 2 million in that area.
Okay.
I think it's over all right, DFW population 6.8 million.
Okay.
So there's a lot of people here.
Hello.
So what's up, Austin?
Guest appearance by Austin.
We're filming the podcast and we're talking about COVID. You wanna join?
Yes.
Join mid podcast because we forgot to switch Discords.
Hello.
Yeah. Well, wait. How are we gonna record him?
Fuck it. We're just using the OBS. We're using the OBS audio.
What's up,
Hello,
Austin?
fans.
Hello.
I'm glad I joined it by saying, "What's up, Champions Club?"
Oh, hey, that can get you banned.
Can it really?
Well, because Dr. Disrespect got banned.
I'm an idiot.
Rest in peace, Doctor. Go fuck yourself.
He's not even a doctor. What a fucking.
Fucking registered nurse.
I'm gonna assume for medical malpractice.
Dude, those. Okay, this is totally switching gears, but those were like my favorite soda commercials. Were the the Dr. Pepper commercials where they're like, "Trust me, I play a TV doctor," or like different things like that. Or they had like Dr. Dre, and he was like, "Trust me, I'm Dr. Dre."
I think I remember those.
Yeah, those were pretty sweet.
What's the topic?
We're just kind
Which
of
lives matter?
Which lives matter? Yes, we were talking about which lives matter on our
I
extremely not political podcast.
I'm a head out.
No, we were going over how much the population was in DFW,
Because
because
we're talking about the Rona.
yeah, and Dallas is projected to be over 1,000 cases a day starting tomorrow.
That's insane, dude.
Yeah. Well, so that's what I was telling Hyde is that I feel actually extremely unsafe, even like going out in the elevator.
Wait, do you have a mask or?
Yeah, I've got. Since the girlfriend works in a hospital, we have many
Hell yeah.
masks. And
Wait,
I use them.
Did she just like take them from the hospital or?
No. When I say she has many masks, I mean like she's paranoid. She's very, very nervous.
Oh, okay.
Got
So
those N95s, baby.
yes. So because of that, we're very safe. But even like in a building that's near a college, it's just a lot of people aren't safe or don't care, and it's just the reason why there's over 1,000 cases a day. Texas is fucking stupid in some instances.
Didn't
It's
the
scary.
lieutenant governor of Texas say that he knew more than Dr.
Fauci.
Oh,
Fauci?
the lieutenant governor of Texas also said that the elderly in the state would be more than willing to give up their lives so that our economy can function.
Oh shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Thanks, Grandma.
I mean, God forbid you want to live, y'all. Let's get out there and get that economy running.
Grandma, I'm telling you now, you're a fucking drain on our social security. fucking die, please.
Shit or get off the pot, Grandma.
which
Where's
the
my
governor had
inheritance?
to walk back the week later. So then the dipshit opens the state. Governor Abbott, if you're listening to this, go fuck yourself. And I was totally thinking that he was doing everything great. So he opens his state, shit hits the fan, and then he walks it back and goes, "Oh well, you know that youth in our country, they're the reason that this COVID's so serious." We're like, "Wait, what? You opened the state, you let, and then told everybody to go out, and now it's the youth's fault."
Don't-
Okay, bud.
Don't worry, it's never their fault. It's never
Yeah.
the politician's fault.
Well, so now we're back to everything being closed because
Don't worry. There's rumors about Michigan closing again, so deal with that shit.
Definitely should. And the most, like, for me, this whole situation, the most troubling thing for me about this is like the lack of testing still. And these numbers are so high. It isn't like each person is going out every 2 weeks and getting tested. These are just the people who, after 2 weeks of doing God knows what, get symptoms,
yeah.
then go get tested, and then it's, I mean, there's at least the rate of people who come out of it is good, but at the same time, there's still no vaccine. It still takes, so long for you to develop systems. There's people out there carrying it who aren't showing signs of having it. I mean, it's the worst.
Well, and then we have the person who's supposed to be the most in charge saying, "Oh, we're putting out the fires," while the scientist that is the most known on it, Fauci's like, "This is really bad. Like, we're really bad right now." So, I mean, we have Trump saying one thing and the scientist saying the other, and the dipshits believing the idiot that's just in charge.
So, politician, I don't know his name. I don't know what his position is. I don't know what state he's fucking from. I just fucking read the fucking quote. He
Is
said
it Rand
that
Paul?
the White House
Okay.
should disband their COVID fucking response team because they're undermining the president.
Oh God.
Yeah,
Genius. That's a genius idea.
full blown genius.
It's just like his, Trump's saying that the reason why the numbers are so high are because of the testing.
Because we
like-
test.
It's like I saw a pretty great comparison of that where they're like, yeah, AIDS could have been cured too if nobody was fucking tested for it.
If we
Just
turn
stop
off the
testing.
check engine light, the engine will be fine.
It
Yeah.
just keeps going. It's good.
Just don't turn the car on.
But
Everything will be fine.
But speaking of people just going out and spreading it, whether they know they have the symptoms or not, I know I mentioned it to you, Colton. I don't know if you saw that, Austin. That bar in Lansing. That
Harper,
yeah, I've been there.
I don't.
when was
I
the
might
last
have.
time you were there?
A couple years ago, so it's been a while.
Oh, okay.
Cause I actually
About 2 weeks ago. You dirt, dirt, dirt.
oh no,
Want apple juice?
I would love if that was how it spread. Was like
Somebody went there for a
"Here's a bunch
water.
of apple juice.
I'm just trying to fucking remember what their drinks were, because they have like 7 different specialty drinks they make on site.
So how did it spread? Like I honestly haven't read any or kept up with it. I just know that it's like up to 106 because the idiots went to a party the next day and now it's in New Haven or New Hudson or something like that.
From
too.
what I understand, the guy who spread it is the son of a doctor, and he knew he was symptomatic when he went to the bar. I didn't read the article. I got this all from my parents because I'm from the Lansing area originally, so they told me about it.
So this doesn't sound like something that people from MSU would do, but it sounds like something that people from U of M would do. And it just seems ridiculous that MSU is the campus that got hit with it.
That's for sure.
Well, I mean, the fucking first reported case in Michigan was at the U of M hospital. Fun
Yeah.
fact. 3 days later, I was across the street from that hospital picking someone up.
And bringing the COVID to the UP.
Yep.
So I guess let's for the update from what we had, and I'm just to update Austin if he did the previous podcasts. About 4 months ago, we did one of the first episodes where we were talking about COVID, and we discussed if we thought that the people were overreacting to it. And now that we're 4 months later, about 2.5, 3 months of which we haven't done a podcast for, um,
We were
where do we
wrong.
stand on that? Yeah, or not just stand on like that aspect of it, but like where do you think this goes? Like it seemed like things were getting better and then things would be like, "Oh, okay." But I mean, there's no vaccine. A lot of people that I talk to now don't even seem to care anymore. Like they're just
They're fed up.
Don't worry, this is
yeah,
America. You could just fucking will away a fucking virus.
yeah.
Canceled it.
Well, and I mean China's cities are getting it again. And I mean if it comes out that China has it, I assume people have it because they're trying to hide all of the information.
There was a mention about the vaccine, the company creating the vaccine for us. The price for the drug being not fixed, so they would be able. Wait, let me pull it up first. But one thing I wanted to ask you guys because I didn't watch that last episode. So what you guys were saying that you felt that it was that
No. We were just discussing if this was like this is when it just started and it hit like
I
America,
might be able to find out which. Episode 9, so it was like 3 episodes ago.
which is a couple months ago. Do you know when that episode we filmed that episode?
Hold on. It says 3 months ago. I'm gonna.
So 3 months ago would have been April, right?
March 20th is when we put that episode out.
Okay, so that means where I work, that had been 4 days since they said that was the first week that they said that you're working from home.
I went down to Ann Arbor like 2 days after that podcast went out.
So that was like the first time that it actually had affected America.
But
And
what
we
was
were-
your guys' side of that? Did you feel like, oh, well, this is gonna blow over soon, or we're taking it too serious?
I
So
definitely specifically said, "Do you think we're overreacting?" Because
yeah, so Hyde was taking the side of I believe that we were overreacting.
I also specified like I know it's better to be overreacting than underreacting, but do you think maybe we are just overreacting with all this?
And I was taking the side of I think we're overreacting in the terms of because that was in the middle of like there was no bleach anywhere, toilet paper was gone,
Oh, right.
people
Yeah.
were buying everything. So
No
I
hand
was saying,
sanitizers.
yeah. So I was saying that like I think it's in the middle of that. I think it's we should be taking precautions, but Jesus Christ, people,
Well,
which is now I think I'm actually swinging to.
it's a good thing there was no bleach anywhere because it would mean less people were able to inject it.
True.
Let's not forget that fucking gem of a directive.
I mean, think about all the shit that's happened. 2020, crazy, but part of me thinks, is it really that crazy, or is all this shit happening heightened? You have nothing else to do.
I
Like-
think that I think there is a balance, especially after the last election of a few of the major media networks who don't want to overplay things and make things have a larger scope than what they do. Like when they predicted that Hillary Clinton would win by a landslide, like that kind of major error in prediction. But I think at the same time there is still like the testing thing. We still don't really know. I mean, even in whole countries where it originated from, how quickly it got here from China. In other words, China. How
We all
quickly it-
went for the joke.
how quickly it got here, we still don't know the true numbers there. We don't really know the numbers here because we can't really test. The information coming out about things that like the amount of money that the U.S. is throwing at these pharmaceutical companies to work on a it's like unprecedented amount of money being thrown at multiple pharmaceutical companies to create a vaccine.
But God
With-
forbid we me pay $1,200 for another round of stimulus.
Right, but here's the crazy thing: some of the experts talking about the amount of money that the United States is throwing at these companies, they're like, but we don't have any leverage. They're like, typically when you're in dealings where you're investing large sums of money, taxpayer money especially, you have leverage. You can say, I'm going to give you this much for your research because it's going to cost the American people this much for a vial. They don't have that.
Yeah.
They can't, they just don't, they're, the best thing the United States has with who they've invested with is that the United States will get the majority or the, debut drug pretty much. So we don't know how much it'll cost. We don't know, will the prices go up as this thing comes out, but we know that we will be the first people to get it, hopefully, if we can get it, if it actually happens. But
I mean, that's even if it comes out by the time Rona dies out.
Which also
Right.
shows you how ridiculous that is, because other countries have it just as bad. Like,
Right.
God
Other
forbid
countries
we
have it
deserve-
just like fucking under control.
Yeah,
Right.
well, because other countries aren't.
Aren't a political fucking shit show.
Yeah, or like glorify certain aspects of our history that shouldn't be glorified. I mean, America's such a shit show if you think about it. If you look into
oh, it's terrible. I mean, in like the Republicans now saying now they're backing the use of masks, where before it was, a fucking infringement on every single amendment. It was an infringement on all of your rights, right? Until
Yeah.
over 100 and I don't know how it's over 100,000 people have died from it now, but that was a while ago. That number was, but how long? Why did it take you that long to come out and say put a fucking mask on?
I,
Because they wanted their supporters who hate the mask to know that they also hate the mask. So please come vote for us in November.
Right.
well, and I don't know. It's not. Then to take it a step farther, it's just so everything done for just bullshit political brownie points. Like, what's her name? The Democrat leader of the House, Pelosi. Is it Pelosi?
Nancy
She
Nancy
Pelosi.
Pelosi.
where she wore, like, during the protests, she wore that African
Oh
garb.
yeah, yeah.
I did not hear
Or,
about
like,
that. That
Her,
sounds.
she did,
she,
and
like,
then
got on
Chuck
her knees
Schumer
and
also.
prayed or yeah, or something. And you're like, Jesus Christ! Like, you can stand with people and not just demean their entire culture.
She could have just
Right.
wore a Black Lives Matter fucking t-shirt. Fuck.
Mm-hmm. Or could have done any. Well, it just shows you though how out of touch these people are, because they don't. This is obviously just how I feel. I feel that they don't actually care about any of these issues. They
Fuck no.
just care to be in power, and so thus is why we're in this cycle of no one gives a fuck. When you're in that type of power where you have a chance to change things.
Well, they also get huge amounts of money from the people who want them to do their bidding for them.
Yeah.
So it's quite profitable. I don't know. Have you guys seen the Jon Stewart film Irresistible?
I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, not yet.
We watched it a couple nights ago. It's pretty good. The two-party system thing, and small town American voters being stuck in between this battle that does not benefit them really in any way, and even when they're promised things, they don't get them, and they're fooled into thinking other things to, stir the base up for some parties. So it's a pretty interesting movie.
Yeah. I mean, seems fairly true.
But what do we know? We're all just a bunch of liberal cucks.
Yeah.
I'm a libtard.
Yes.
I'm libtarded.
But yeah, other than that's pretty much the COVID that's happened in our lives in the last
The
3 months.
COVID update / slight grazing of the current protests going on,
Yep.
and that's good enough.
Oh, you guys talking about the seasonal flu, the common cold, COVID?
Yeah,
How
You guys
it's,
are talking about.
Yeah.
the common COVID cold.
Please.
The cold that the flu, if we didn't give vaccines to people, would have done way more damage.
I love that argument.
Well, okay,
So
you
great.
want to know that I think is hilarious though right now? Where's all these anti-vaxxers?
They're
Where
the
are they?
anti-mask people. It's literally
Are
the
they
same
the anti-vax?
people.
Is it?
It's the same fucking people.
Oh God. Okay.
We're
Well, that
slowly
makes
dying.
sense. They're the 100,000 people that are getting it per day.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah. There's so much stuff that we can get into too that are outside of the podcast where I just don't want to bring up family things where it gets ridiculous. But so that's that aspect. I know that we've talked about like driving across country and stuff. During this break, I drove from Texas to Arizona, which was interesting. I drove it in that small, shitty Toyota Yaris the whole way. It
Oh
made it.
man.
Finally got rid of that car, and I drove through my first dust storm, and I did it twice along the way. So we were driving, and we were like, "Oh, that's a rain. We're gonna hit some rain. Sounds good." And then the next thing you know, we're like, "That's a bunch of fucking sand." So it was pretty interesting. I don't know if either of you have driven in a storm.
What is that like to drive through a dust storm? Do you have to stop? Do you have to pull off?
I
Um,
imagine it fucks up the paint.
oh, I mean, I didn't give a shit.
Wasn't your car anymore.
Yeah. It was pretty white knuckly. Because it's super windy. So what they want you to do is they want you to pull over. I mean, you'd probably be able to answer this, Austin, since you've more of this expertise. Why they would want you to do this? They want you to pull over, buckle up, put it in neutral, turn off your lights, and
What?
turn off the car. Yeah, and that's what like all of the signs said that. And both Julianne and I were like, turn off the lights and turn off the car and put it in neutral in the middle of a dust storm? It doesn't make sense to me.
I can understand why
Googling
they
this.
want you to like stop and like not be driving in the middle of the storm because like the sand blowing across the fucking road could reduce your traction, but like none of the rest of that fucking makes sense.
Yeah, and there's
National-
like signs, big signs along the side of the road that are from the government that are like the road commission signs that are saying
This is from the National Weather Service. In the past, motorists driving in dust storms have pulled off the roadway, leaving lights on. Vehicles approaching from the rear and using the advanced car's lights as a guide have inadvertently left the roadway and in some instances collided with the parked vehicles. So maybe the dust obscures the sheen from the lights.
maybe. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes
And
sense. My question though is why neutral?
Because I assume they don't want it if you hit somebody, they want the cars to have less of like a full force impact where one of the cars is moving.
That's weird, yeah. They say set the emergency brake, take your foot off the brake pedal to be sure the taillights are not illuminated.
See,
And
the
never stop on the roadway.
National Weather Service says put your brakes on, but the signs in Texas say fucking throw it in neutral.
Yeah. Well, Texas and New Mexico. And then when we made it to Arizona, the place in Tucson, there's a 168,000 square acre fire going on. So you can watch it at night burning and all this shit. It was insane and sad. But
At least it didn't
was
get
a
up to
natural fire.
Australia proportions.
Yeah, right. But it was natural though. It was from a lightning bolt, so it's a little bit more.
Lightning bolt.
Yeah.
Lightning bolt, lightning bolt.
Lightning bolt.
It was weird though thinking about that stuff because think if you were a cowboy or like something like that, way back, like there's no lights or anything, and just the fucking mountains on fire and no one's taking care of it or anything.
Crazy.
Man.
I was in California a few years ago during one of those big fires, and it was like, holy shit! Like it looks like the fucking world is ending. Just the way it like on the mountainsides, the way it like creeps up, and you can see like the reflection of it, the red like reflection of light in the clouds and the dust below that, and then like we were driving. So the road that we wanted to photograph on was closed because of the fire, and we start driving back towards LA, and there's fucking people in California while the mountain beyond them is completely engulfed in flames. They have their house there with fucking Christmas lights on it on the outside. It's just like whatever. I don't give a fuck.
They're used to it, man.
Crazy.
Yeah, so that's pretty much been that aspect of life, because because of COVID, it's been pretty much just hanging out inside, doing a lot of gardening and all of that.
Animal Crossing gardening.
So yes, so I have a game now where I've played for over 100 days in a row.
Jesus
So
Christ.
I haven't not played a single day since that game's come out. Because I still really like it.
I'm just waiting till Sunday so I could get some fucking
Turnips.
because I keep trying to get the fucking turnips, but I keep like either forgetting to get on Sunday or like I can't, and I'm just like so fucking starved for bells as it is. Which is why I kind of stopped playing, is because I just don't have any fucking bells.
I have over 8 million now, so
Jesus Christ.
rolling in that dough. But yeah, what about you, Austin? Playing any games recently that you're super?
Last night I was pretty successful again with Sea of Thieves.
Okay.
I joined this group of guys on the biggest ship, the Galleon, and they had already like a high emissary flag, so we got a bunch of they could play it better than I could. I was just basically reloading their cannons for them. But we did flame
Shroud
heart
that poop deck, me boy.
pretty much.
Polish the
Want me to-
cannons, boy.
Do you need me to hold your parrot, Captain? So that was good, and they got a ton of loot super fast, so nobody fucked with us the whole time because we were in such a big ship. And been playing that. Also been playing. We just got our new TV today.
Oh, how did that
So,
go? Because I
good.
heard that you didn't mention it at all.
No, it's good. She didn't
It's
kill
good.
me. Spoiler alert.
Nice.
So I would really like to pick up Cyberpunk now. Really, just any good-looking game. I played a little bit of Gran Turismo because they have the HDR function and it makes the cars look really good. The tracks, like the track surface area, the pavement, and everything looks
Mhm.
fucking amazing with that turned on. And
Are you excited for the next one on the PS5 coming out?
yeah, dude, I don't know if you saw the screenshots, but they've brought back like the whole map thing, so there's like kind of a world aspect to it where you can go buy more parts for your car. Some other stuff like throwback from the older games on there as well, like the car wash and oil change place.
Yeah, I watched the release video or whatever of the PS5, and I'm pretty excited for the PS5 to come out.
Did you guys see they're talking about the price hike on the games now? The games are going to be like $70.
Okay.
But if you think about it, like the $60 game is kind of a myth now, even too, because of the seasons, the passes. I mean, you buy
but I
a
like
game.
that as an option.
Yeah, for sure. But even like
Um,
a game as straightforward as like Modern Warfare, where they want you to buy the battle pass, it's like, how many times am I going to spend another $24 on this game I bought for $60?
True, but I've never spent money on the battle pass.
And I haven't either for as long as my fiance is awake and near me.
Yes. Are you planning on being a pirate tonight?
Yar.
Yar.
Aye.
Yar. Yes. The bootylicious buccaneers ride again.
Party hard. Where's the dog? I don't know. Oh, she's sleeping.
The booty buccaneers be on the high seas tonight, lads.
I am excited for Cyberpunk 2027.
As am I.
2077. Yeah.
Oh yeah, where were we gonna update the draft so far?
Yeah, we can do that. And we can also, while we're rolling into that, we can talk about some of the games. So we've been playing Sea of Thieves. I guess the biggest one and the most controversial game to have come out for this score, at least for me, since I've played it, is The Last of Us Part 2. which is rocking a 94 on Metacritic. Which this is such an interesting
Let's take a look at
score
the
in my
user
opinion.
score.
It is a solid 5.
Which
Yikes.
we should have specified. Are we going by critic reviews or user reviews, or averaging the two for?
I was solely going by the critic reviews,
Fuck.
but yeah.
People are saying Last of Us Part 2 is too long of a video game.
So I think the best explanation of it that I've had is this. If maybe spoilers, maybe not. I can shut up if you want me to, Austin. I don't know if you care.
I don't. That applies to everything.
That's fair enough. Basically the game has you play as what you perceive to be the villain halfway through the game. And what ends up happening is, I'm going to basically reiterate what Dan's Gaming says, is the game tries to get you to care about this person in a character development level. If the game does a bad job of making you care for Abby, who is the villain, who as the game progresses is not really the villain, because she kills the main character that everybody likes, then if you feel for her and feel bad for her, then the game's ending means more to you because it hits home. The issue, with me included, is I did not care for Abby. The way that it was structured and how they broke it up, it like, I thought she was a good person in the story, but I didn't care for her at all. And then the way that they developed her and then developed Ellie, I just ended up not caring for either of them. And that is why I didn't like it, and I gave it a solid 5.
Do you think it'd be better if there was multiplayer? Because I know the first one had multiplayer, but the second one doesn't.
Well, the multiplayer in the second one is actual. It's like a battle zone or whatever, like where you fight against other people. I don't think, no, it's legitimately, the story is not good. If you can watch videos watch the story aspect of it, it's just, it falls flat on so many levels. Like there's a part in the game where Abby kills Joel with a baseball bat, and somebody wants to kill Ellie, and Abby's like, no, we're not going to kill her. And then there's another part later, midway through the game, where Ellie's caught again, and Abby has a chance to kill her, and then somebody says, no, Abby, we're not going to kill her, Ellie. And then later in the game, Ellie goes, I'm going to go get Abby. And then one of the other characters says along the lines like, no, you might die. And then Ellie, I don't plan on it. Bitch, she could have killed you 3 other times at this point. Like, what do you think? Like, you've had the opportunity. You've been given a second chance. Like, that stuff didn't need to be in the game, in my opinion, if you wanted it to be that way. Like, if you thought that was a good way for the game to go, that's fine. But don't keep bringing up these reoccurring situations where the character that you're supposed to care about is constantly in a losing state, and then have lines like, she's not as good. You know what I mean? It just was a bad ending to the game.
That's disappointing to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think sometimes people get tied up too much with the character development, where it's like, okay, well, now this character makes like, this is not even the same character I started the game with.
Yeah, no, it's, well, so
if this were a movie, people would call it bullshit like immediately, right? Like, it just would not happen.
Well, and that's the part that I find interesting is, I think the world of Last of Us is as good as the Fallout world. I think it's overgrown and it looks awesome, and it has that that aspect that people like. Like, the New Horizons does the same thing. Last of Us, Fallout. People love and adore those worlds where it's like the world that we have now falling apart, and I think there's something about that that's really cool, and it's really cool to be a part of and cool to see. And Last of Us 2 does all of that amazing, and some the graphics in the game are some of the best you'll ever see, and the story for parts of it is really good, but for the other parts it's really bad. And so that's just Mike had Last of Us 2, he got a 94. I think Matt has Half-Life Alex. That's a 93. Mike has Animal Crossing New Horizons. This is my biggest fumble on the year. I thought Animal Crossing was going to be a bad game. It's not. That's got a 90. Ori and Will of the Wisps has 90. Dreams is 89. Seamus with Doom Eternal has 88. Final Fantasy Remake. Did I have that one?
Someone had. Hold on.
Someone had it. That's an 87.
You had Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Okay. Basically after the Resident Evil. Did you have Resident Evil 3?
Yeah, I had Resident Evil 3 Remake.
That's a 84. Matt had
MLB The Show 2020.
Yeah, that was
What did Half-Life
83.
Alex get again?
Half-Life Alex was one of the highest rated ones. 83, I think. 93.
Oh, I just saw it's on Seamus's fucking games list. Kerbal Space Program 2. I'm pretty sure that game got canceled.
Just canceled?
Yes.
Why?
There was some bullshit with the...
I thought I saw that recently too.
Okay, no. It did get canceled, but the publisher decided to switch developers or something like that. So, essentially, they're restarting the fucking game from scratch. And
What is the other games that we have, by the way?
Hold on. So, Seamus has Doom Eternal, Microsoft Flight Sim, KSP2, Ghost of Tsushima, and Little Nightmares 2. I have Cyberpunk 2077, Resident Evil 3 Remake, Crusader Kings 3, Neo 2, and No More Heroes 3.
So Microsoft Flight Simulator.
The new one. I don't know if that's out yet.
I don't think it's out yet.
And then Matt had MLB The Show, Halo Infinite, Half-Life Alex, Marvel Avengers, Iron Man VR.
That game might not even come out this year either. Marvel Avengers is being delayed by a lot.
Mike had Last of Us 2, Persona 5 Royale, Animal Crossing, Torchlight 3, Axiom Verge 2.
I don't think Torchlight 3 did good, but Persona Royale did. And we shouldn't have let him do it because that was just a re-release.
Yeah. Because, like, Final Fantasy VII Remake was, like, they completely changed how the fucking game works as well, along with Resident Evil 3 Remake. But we probably should have specified that ahead of time, but we didn't think about it.
Oh, it might not matter because he's going to get a 0. Torchlight 3.
And what about Axiom Verge 2?
How do you spell that?
AXIOM Verge 2.
That got an 80. Oh, no, it didn't. The original one got an 80. So for Torchlight 3, just so people are aware, it's not that it isn't going to come out. It's just in early access. And
Not fully released?
yeah, and it doesn't have scores. So that would be a 0. And if you're listening, Mike, you would have won hands down because you have the 1 and 2 games. But the 0 for your average score is going to bring you down a lot.
That's gonna...
Especially since Axiom Verge 2 is not supposed to release until quarter 4 2020, which means
It
I
could
doubt
get delayed.
Yeah, I doubt it.
So that could be 2 zeros for Mike.
Yeah.
Alright. And then Colton, you had Final Fantasy VII Remake, Dreams, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, Zombie Army 4 Dead War,
That was a terrible game that I picked.
and then Minecraft Dungeons.
Oh god. So all my games are out. That's the biggest thing for me. Except Minecraft Dungeons literally took a dick, stuck it in its mouth, and then choked on it. Because it is bad. It is a bad game.
But, and just a reminder, these scores don't matter until fucking last week of
Yeah.
the year.
Minecraft Dungeons is his 70. Oh god.
Well, as long
The
as all
only one.
all
Yeah.
your games come out, you could still beat Mike. Because if Mike gets 2 zeros, the highest score he could get is a 60 average.
True. So, but yeah, I mean, so that's the update for that stuff. I think the plan for the podcast move to do it every week again, like we're doing. So this will be just kind of a recap to catch you up to where we are and what we've been doing. We're starting our maybe not necessarily new lives for all of us, but just living in the realm of society as we have to now, and a nice little featuring of Austin.
Thank you for stopping on in, Austin.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's fun. All right. Well, with that being said, I'm Colton.
I'm Hyde, and that's Austin over there.
Hello.
And we'll catch you next time
On the 5th draft.
on the 5th draft, baby.